Hey guys, so I'm here today to film a first impressions video for you on a bunch of drugstore stuff. Not all new, but all new to me. There's a couple things I'm missing, like powder and brows, but I think I have everything else. And like I would say like 90% of the stuff I've never tried before. I'm never sure if I should do my intro like after with the full face on or not, but like you're just getting my naked ass face, deal with it. So before I get started, you subscribe to my channel. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, and you should stick around because I'm awesome, I guess. I don't fucking know. So like I did a drugstore haul in my last video. I will link that down below if you guys want to see it. But basically, I haven't been buying a lot of shit from the drugstore lately, and I kind of wanted to get back into my drugstore love. So I bought a bunch of stuff so that I could do a full face of first impressions and kind of see what I see. I don't have an eye primer, so I'm just going to use concealer. I generally don't like using concealer for my primer, but I'm actually filming this and then going nowhere today, so I figured this should be fine. And I've actually kind of been using a concealer every once in a while lately and not hating it, so. Also for my sponge today, I'm using my Real Techniques sponge. For my like brushes and stuff, I will probably be using just like regular brushes. I don't have a lot of drugstore brushes, and I definitely feel like brushes are something that you should invest in at least a little bit. I think Sigma is hands down the best affordable brushes. I'm just going to set that with a little bit of loose powder. This is my this is not Laura Mercier. This is my RCMA No Color Powder. I'm trying to keep everything affordable in this video, just to make your lives easier. And yeah, I feel like I got that all over my face, but it's fine. For eyeshadow, I'll clean it up after. It's fine. This is why I do eyes first, because I like to do my eyes messy as fuck, and then I do my face. For eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Covergirl Chocolate Scented TruNaked Chocoholic palette. That Taylor raves about this eyeshadow a lot. I think I kind of already looked at these shades to decide what I want to do, and I think I want this like sparkly purple all over the lid, and because the lip I have is a nude, I figure we might as well go all out for the rest of the shadows. I'm just going to take, do these shades have names? Of course not. I'm going to take this third shade in and put it with a fluffy brush kind of all over my crease, just as a transition shade. I might need to stay. I find that with, oh no, there it is. It's building up now. And maybe it just had like a layer on top. It's actually blending out pretty nice. I really hope that you can hear my husband watching Fast and the Furious loudly in the next room and my cat's running around in the fucking hallway. Your girl can't get a second of peace. So that's a pretty decently pigmented shade actually, and I like to blow my crease out pretty intensely because I don't know, I have a lot of brow space, so I like to put everything up in there. So I'm just gonna take this last shade here. It looks like it has glitter in it, but it looks like it's one of those like matte shades with a glittery base. I mean, there's not a lot of matte shades in here. It's really just these two, and this one actually is kind of satin finish, so I'm working with what I'm working with. I'm using a MAC 217, and I'm just going to take that first and just kind of pack it on the outer corner and then blending it into the crease. Again, because I'm going to be using this like dark ass color, I need the crease to be dark so that it will all blend together. Also, because I have hooded lids, I find that if I blend in my crease with my eye open, I get kind of this skipping here in the inside, so I definitely have to blend with my lid shut, and then I'll probably go back with the fluffier brush after, and I'm just gonna pack that on some more. Although I will say, like, for a drugstore, this is pretty, it's working pretty well. Your girl loves a plummy look. Then I'm just going to go back with that first brush. I'm not going to put any color on it, but I'm just going to blend out the edges. And then I just kind of go back and forth with that color just until it looks even to me. And then I'm going to take a little bit more and just kind of pack that on the outer, I guess, third of my lid. I find that with a fluffy brush, you can pack pretty easily if you just kind of use the side of it and press it. And there's some skipping on my lid, but I'm going to put a darker shade over top, so I'm not that pressed about it. And then using that same shade, I'm going to go into the very darkest brown and just put a smidge in the outer corner and the kind of outer V. Maybe more than a smidge, because that smidge didn't show up very well. I'm gonna go back into that first shade and blend out those edges. I will say this shadow has lots of kickback, as you can kind of see from here, but that's never been something that I care about as long as the shades work. Like, my issue with Subculture was always that the shades didn't really work together. It wasn't so much that the kickback was shit. So for this glittery purple shade, I'm just going to take my finger and press it onto the lid because I can already tell it's going to be Fallout Palooza, and it's just going to work better if I use my finger. Yeah, like high Fallout. I'm not mad about it though, to be honest. I wish there was like a lighter shimmery shade in this palette, so that I could put it on the inner part. I might try to use this shade, but it doesn't look nearly as light as I want it to be. And I'm just gonna kind of pack that on. You can see, I hope that this color is gorgeous. But there is a shit ton of fallout, so I definitely think that if you want to use this color, you either need to load up the powder on your lower or on your under eye, or do your eyeshadow, or your eyeshadow first. Let's see if I can take this kind of, like, it just kind of looks, oh, actually, you know what? That's not bad. Just to brighten up that inner part, I'm taking that lighter shimmery shade. And then I'm gonna go back with this shade and just kind of blend them together. I actually think what I'm gonna do is take that shade with a wet brush. This is actually a Coastal Scents brush. I'm going to pick up the shade on my brush. Then I'm gonna spray it with a Hard Candy Primer Mist, because obviously Fix Plus is not Drugstore. And let's see if this adds, oh yeah, that's nice. Can you see the difference between this eye and this eye? So nice. Okay, she's beautiful. This is as far as I'm gonna get on the eyes right now. I'm going to clean up with, I just use a baby wipe because they're cheaper than makeup wipes. So that's all I need for my eyes for now. I'm just gonna work on the face, and then I'll kind of go back and finish the eyes at the end. For primer, first I'm going to spray my face with the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer Mist. This isn't new to me, but it's what I have on hand. I keep buying this, but I never know how I feel about it, so don't ask me. But it's a nice hydrating primer. I don't think it makes your makeup last any longer, but it does feel nourishing. And then something that I actually picked up that I didn't include in my haul because I got it after the fact is the Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Primer. This was like the original dupe for the, what's it called? It's the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. There's an e.l.f. dupe now that's apparently supposed to be a better dupe, but this was the first dupe. And so I'm going to use it actually on half my face. I won't be doing a wear test, but I just kind of want to see if it smooths out my pores. And I did touch this, and it's definitely way more of a silky consistency than I expected it to be. Like the Tatcha is more of a, like, hard texture. I did get a sample of it, but this is definitely more of like a, it just kind of feels like a silicone primer, but we're gonna put it on anyways and see what happens. So I'm just gonna do it on this half of my face. It definitely kind of mattified. Let me get up close and personal. I guess it helped get rid of some of my pores. I feel like you'll be able to see it better when foundation is on. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in the shade Porcelain. This looks light, but let's pray for oxidization. I'm going to take it on my Real Techniques brush sponge and blend it out. Yeah, this is definitely light as fuck on me. Good thing I have a bronzer to test out. But the next shade up was so dark, so I feel like I need to get the dark shade and then like lighten it. Being pasty is difficult. I also feel like it's really hard for me to tell how well a foundation is when it's this pasty, because I just feel like it never looks good on my skin. It makes me look like dry and I look like a ghost. So I really can't tell if I like it or not. Thanks for nothing, Milani. For concealer, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer. I have the shade 320 Porcelain, which is paper white, and then I have 330 Ivory, which is definitely more my shade, but might be too dark. Right, it looks really yellow, actually. I'm probably going to add a little bit of Porcelain in with it because I'm so pale right now that Porcelain is probably my better concealer. That's like really full coverage. And it goes a very long way. Like I probably used too much concealer. And although it was too yellow, I think with the Porcelain in there, it really kind of blended it out and it looks actually really nice. I am pretty bougie when it comes to drugstore concealer. So I'm actually really impressed. I definitely put way too much concealer on. So if this does look cakey at all, it's 150% on me. This is definitely like a little goes a long way type of concealer. Like I'm blending that concealer into my forehead because it was so much. Again, I'm going to use my, it looks so ghostly. I'm going to use my RCMA No Color Powder to set that. I used to be one of my holy grail powders until I discovered the Fenty. I really wanted to try the Maybelline Fit Me for this video, but they never had my shade in stock anywhere, and also the fair one looks a little yellow toned. I look like a literal ghost. For eyebrows, I don't have anything, so I'm actually just going to use the lightest matte shade from this palette, this one here, the lightest brown. Oh wow, did you see how much that crumbled when I dug my brush into it? Wild. I have pretty full brows, so I'm just gonna kind of fill it in a little bit, and then I'll use a tinted powder that or a tinted brow gel that I have. I just didn't want to like cheat, and I don't really have any drugstore stuff, although that looks pretty decent, to be honest. That's pretty decent. And then I'm just going to set it with my Essence Make Me Brow, which is basically the drugstore dupe of the Gimme Brow, and I actually like it a lot. I don't have anything to set my face, so this will probably be my one drugstore cheat. For this video, I'm going to use the MAC Marley Skin Finish Natural Powder because this is what I use every single day to set my face. Let me know of some good drugstore powders for dry skin, because I find that I like kind of more of a illuminating powder. I just put on mascara. I put on the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara. This is not a new for me, but this is one of my favorites. Okay, we're on to bronzer now, and who your girl needs it. This is the Maybelline City Bronzer in 100. I'm just going to use, I kind of just like using like a blush brush for my bronzer. This is another super powdery bronzer, but that's okay. We're gonna need a lot of it today. It's a little warmer than I personally like, but hopefully it'll all blend together. I kind of like my bronzers to be a little bit more like neutral toned. Okay, I put way too much bronzer on. It's fine. So when I put too much bronzer on, what I do is take my powder brush that I used for my face powder and I just kind of go over it. And it just kind of blends everything in seamlessly. And actually, normally I don't go along my hairline, but because my bronzer was so out of control today, I am gonna do my hairline. I definitely think this blush is definitely more of a natural tone and would probably look best without heavy bronzer, but I'm actually kind of into it. It's like, it has this subtle sheen to it, and I'm not mad about it. I kind of put way too much on, but whatever. We're gonna do the same thing I do when I put on too much blush, bronzer, whatever. For highlight, I'm so excited to try this. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Blossom Glow. I have heard so much about these, and I'm stoked. I'm going to try it with a fan brush first. Oh, it just looks so pretty. Now, normally I wear all of my blushes or highlights with ColourPop's Flexitarian underneath it, but that felt like cheating to me today. Okay, this is really pretty, but I need to try a different brush. This is actually the Wet n Wild highlighting brush. How perfect. Okay, I need to stop, but I can't because it's so fucking pretty. And I bet you with ColourPop's Flexitarian over top of it, it would be even prettier. Taking this glow in. Wow, stoked. I'm actually going to take that on a little brush and use it as my inner corner highlight. And I'm actually going to pull it onto the inner part of the lid where I wanted it to be a little bit brighter, and that color was a little bit too dark. This is kind of my hack for whenever an eyeshadow palette doesn't have a shimmery lid color and I don't want to have to pull out something else. I just always use my highlight. Then I'm going to go back into that original CoverGirl palette, and I'm going to take the matte off-white color and I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight. And then what I always do is I kind of take it and I blend it into the dark shadows, because I find that personally I always pull my shadows up too high, and this just helps to blend it out or blend it together. Okay, what am I missing? I don't think anything. To set my face, I'm going to use first, I didn't get any eyeliner, so I'm just not going to wear eyeliner. I think the look is smoky enough as is, doesn't really need liner. I'm going to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Setting Spray. This isn't new to me, but deal with it. If you're like me and you like a glowy foundation, but you find your face can look a little bit powdery, this I find kind of melts everything in. Another thing I like to do is just kind of take my beauty blender and just press it in after I've set my face. I actually learned this tip from Jackie Aina, and she's not wrong. It definitely kind of just melts everything together. And now I don't find that's a setting spray. I find that's more of like a finishing spray, kind of like the MAC Fix Plus. So then I'm actually going to take the Milani Make It Last and spray that on as well. I like to do like 2 setting sprays. Don't judge me. That one is way more aggressive than I ever remember, so I just doused my face. With that one, I do the same thing where I kind of dry it a little bit and then I take whatever is left on my brush or on my beauty blender on my face, I guess, and I kind of just press it in, especially around my nose. My camera keeps just like turning off. So last step is lipstick. This is Maybelline's Truffle Tease. It might be too brown tone for this, but we're gonna find out. I want you to know that I don't wear nude lipsticks. Like ever. I definitely think it's a little warm tone, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna take MAC's what is it? Love You Back. Love You Back, which is kind of more pinky tone, and put that in the center. Just kind of lighten it a little bit and put it in the center. So this is the finished look, and I'm actually kind of into it. I look a little pale, don't judge me, but the eyeshadow is beautiful. The lipstick is super comfortable. I love this highlighter. Okay, let me go through what I put on my face and how I feel about it. Primer, truly both sides of my face look the exact same. So I'm not sure what this did or if I made it and put enough on, but who knows. I will try it out a little bit more. Foundation, like it actually does look really pretty and beautiful on my skin, but I definitely think I need a darker shade. So I might have to pick up a darker shade and maybe just mix them together, which is kind of annoying, but I kind of like the foundation, so I might need to try it. Concealers, I really like this concealer, but I definitely think I still don't have my perfect shade. 320 is too light. 330 is the right shade, but definitely the wrong tone. They had more pink toned ones, so I think I would need one of those. But I definitely think this concealer I definitely want to play with a little bit more because I really like the finish. It's super full coverage. My under eyes look bright and awake, and I really like it a lot. Eyeshadow. This is actually a really good palette. I truly had low expectations from CoverGirl. I'm just not the kind of person that reaches for these small palettes, and I wish that it definitely had a shimmery lid color, but like I said, you can kind of hack that with your highlighter, so it's not the end of the world. I do want to just like, this is my problem is, so see how the shape of this eye is kind of perfect, whereas this one, I just feel like sometimes I don't blend up onto this brow bone enough, so kind of what I do at the end of my eye look is just kind of, I just kind of go back and forth and try to even them out, and then I blended this one up too high now, so I'm going to go back with the brown and blend it out. It's just a never-ending process of blending your eyeshadows, and I think I kind of blended, I think I fucked it up. Now that one looks way too blended. Or not too blended, but like too, so I'm going to go back in with that white and use that to clean it up. And you see how I just kind of fix that fuckery I just made? And even like down here, I blended a little bit low, so I'm just going to take that white. This is why nude eyeshadow is underrated, because it can fix all of your mistakes. Legitimately, all of them. So yeah, I actually like that a lot, and I definitely think if you're in the market for drugstore eyeshadow, that CoverGirl palette is not bad. Bronzer, I think this blended out really beautifully, and I really like it, but I'm not sure about the tone. Again, I think it's a little bit warm toned for me. I like more of a cool toned or like neutral toned bronzer, so but I definitely think if you're fair and you're on more of the warm side, this would be a beautiful bronzer for you. The blush, I definitely think I would like it without the bronzer, like on days when you just want to wear blush. It definitely has this beautiful kind of sheen to it, which I like, and it is a very fair blush. You do have to build it up, but I don't hate that. I would rather have to build up my blush than be afraid that there's too much. Highlighter is probably one of my favorite things from this video. I absolutely love it. Oh my god, I just realized that I have this Milani Radiant powder that I didn't try out, and I want to, see, this is my thing. It's a radiant translucent powder, but when I look in the cap, like, that's shimmer, is it not? Let's see. Yeah, that's shimmery. I'm scared of it, so I'm definitely not about to fuck up my makeup right now, so we will just leave that for another day. Let me know down below if you've tried the Milani Translucent Radiant Powder, because like I thought it would be kind of like that Lancome Le Pêche powder or whatever that Jaclyn Hill is always using to make her face like glowy and beautiful. I know she's canceled, but her makeup is still good, so let a girl know. Lipstick, I love Maybelline. This shade actually isn't bad. It's kind of a nice nude, but it's not really, I don't really love it with this look. However, if you know of any nude lipsticks for pale girls that have pink undertones, let a girl know. She's always on the lookout. I actually really like this, and there's tons of products in here that I actually really like, so I'm looking forward to kind of playing around with them some more. Let me know what you guys thought. I have 0 minutes left on my memory card, so thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what your favorite drugstore products are, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!